I'm Courtney.
And I'm Emily. And this is Cheers to That. Dink. Back at you with another week of torture.
And we are recording on a Monday. And so I'm not going to lie, I feel a little off.
Got the club going up on a Monday.
We are trying. Apparently, we were brain dead on the last one. Matt was listening to it, not reading. Matt was listening.
We're doing it off to a great start.
Matt was listening, and he was like, "Are y'all okay? Like, you're trying to do the scientific method, and it was just kind of a disaster."
And
but
also,
here we are.
Claire texted us and was obscene. Like, she was like, "Are you guys all right? Like, did you lose all of your brain cells?" And the answer is yes.
She sent us a whole video.
Yes, a whole video to roast us.
It wasn't even just a text.
Honestly, so valid. And sometimes you just need to get humbled. And one thing about us is we get humbled every day of this damn life.
We get humbled, and then you know what picks me right back up? Our YouTube comments.
Oh yeah, me too. Speaking of funny comments, not on our YouTube, I made my first sourdough loaf. I don't think I had last time we recorded, but I made a sourdough loaf, and I posted it on my sourdough Facebook page, and I was like, hey, tell me what I did, guys. Yeah. And so most people, 99% of people were like, great job, amazing. It's got 400 likes on my picture or whatever. I'm like, oh, what angels. Someone commented 2 weeks later, ew, that's it. Ew.
They're just trying to troll on purpose.
No, so I just did the laughing face emoji back to because I was like, okay.
Oh my God. Well, there's always that 1%.
Well, it literally says my first loaf in the caption, so why don't you get off my back?
It's like if you posted a picture of your baby and somebody commented, ooh, it's the exact same thing.
Which I'm sure someone wanted to do.
Well.
To my child. To anyone's child.
Never. Not Fielding.
I mean, I thought he was beautiful at the time, and I look back at pictures and I'm like,
I mean, don't we all?
Woof.
And if you look back at your kids' newborn pictures and you're like, oh, they were the most beautiful thing ever, you're a liar.
You're delusional.
Because we are jaded at the beginning. Mm-hmm. We believe what's put in front of us, and I believe my kids were the cutest thing on earth. And then you're posting I'm posting the most ugliest pictures of them, little aliens.
Well, I see ones that pop up on my Snapchat all the time of Addie, where she is in the stroller, and you're like, my sweet little girl, and her face is
crinkled up,
so angry. She's like,
so
stop taking pictures. And we were all
she's so happy.
Oh my God, she's just glowing. And she's like, little reptile, do not.
No, you look back at those pictures. That's what Lauren and I joke about. We're like, oh man, but there's a reason why.
Yes,
you have that facade on,
because if
for
you
the
don't,
first year,
then you would kill them,
and you would never bond because you're like, what is this alien? Why did I?
Fielding had such bad cradle cap, and it was my favorite. I kind of miss it. It was my favorite thing to pick it out, and we had a whole cradle cap system.
I gotcha.
Cradle cap system. Frida baby. Great wreck if you have a baby with cradle cap, because it was so satisfying to comb it out.
Oh yeah.
After a bath. Ooh.
No,
it was nice.
If your baby has cradle cap, I'll come.
Call me. I'll come over.
We're not weird, I promise.
No, as a cosmetologist, that's my duty.
No, it is satisfying though. We had just a fine tooth comb, and I actually gave that to my sister when she had her daughters, because I was like, I swear by this comb. I don't even know where I got it from, but it was
super fine.
Yes, and it did the job.
Did you wash it before you gave it to her, disinfect it?
No, I just left all the crust on it. I'm just kidding.
Disgusting. You're gross. Well, I had a question for you and I forgot. Oh my God, I had such a good question for you. I thought of it 4 a.m. when I woke up.
While you're thinking of it, welcome to your weekly podcast where we talk about motherhood, marriage, and everything in between.
There you go.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
Is it gone?
It's gone.
It's okay. So, fun fact, I feel we obviously talk every single day still. Nothing could keep us from that. No. But last week was super busy. Didn't get to see you guys. This weekend we were out of town, and so it's just weird. I feel we have so much to catch up on.
You called me Thursday night, and you were like, we haven't seen each other all week. And I was like, we haven't seen each other all week. It was weird because I don't think I saw you on Sunday for a little bit because Matt made biscuits and gravy.
Yes.
And sorry. You made biscuits and Matt made gravy. Mm-hmm. Wonderful times were had. But then after that, I didn't see you again until today.
I know.
It's been a week.
That's unheard of. I don't know.
Like it. I don't support it. I don't know what's going on.
Now we have to write each other into our plans.
Yes.
Send a Google Calendar invite.
Literally. And we weren't even supposed to record today. We were actually going to skip this week. And then my hair appointment ended up canceling. which honestly, like, God, I see you working in mysterious ways. This one wasn't mysterious. Thanks. That's all I have to say. Because I was hardcore stressing about this week, and it ended up working out just fine.
This week it's just crazy. The kids are out of daycare for the week. They're on fall break, and so we're living on a hope, a wing, and a prayer, and babysitters for me.
John Bon Jovi. We've got to hold on to what we got. I don't know the words. Whoa, we're not even halfway there. It's only Monday. Whoa, living on a prayer.
Oh, we're halfway there.
Have you seen the memes that are like talking about that song and it says like lemon on a pear?
No.
Or it's like lizard on a chair. Like, it's just
have you seen the TikToks that are going on right now? Have you heard of the guy on TikTok? His name's like Tucker Westmore. I only know his name because Tucker. Like, it just makes sense to me.
You know, everyone named Tucker.
There is, dogs mostly are named Tucker. Human Tuckers. So he like sings a song, whatever, but there's this guy who has started creating TikToks and he's taking songs and he's like, do you hear this lisp? And he's mouthing the words, but he's mouthing it with a lisp. And it is so freaking funny.
I can't because I will not be able to ever unhear it. Like once I hear something like that, it literally ruins songs for me.
Yes.
So I will not be going down that rabbit hole. In fact, I will be blocking him after this because I am not going to go down like that.
It's so funny. It's hilarious. And I'm like, man, people are so creative. Like, how do you think of doing
silly.
that? But anyways.
So silly.
I feel like there's so much that I want to like cover.
Begin?
Where to begin? We just got back from Oklahoma.
I also thought you were going to Austin all week.
Yeah, you kept asking me, like, when are you leaving to go see Lauren? And I'm like, I'm going to Oklahoma.
No,
it was so funny.
I couldn't get it in my head. And then still, when you were like on your way to Oklahoma, I was like, that's weird direction. Austin's west. Like, what?
Why are you going 6 hours when you could go 3?
No, and like Lauren's like, I'm going to a festival. And I'm like, well, that's weird. Why are you going to a festival and Courtney's on her way? Like, I had a mental block.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I mean,
is it okay? I might be having a stroke. It's fine.
Oh, we're fine. Don't hospitalize us, please.
No, please. But okay, so y'all went to Oklahoma.
Yes, we celebrated my nephew's birthday, and I feel like a good time was just had. We got to like see quite a few people, and like really just hang out, and I didn't feel like rushed to get from place to place. So normally, like if you have like family out of town, I know for us, we always feel rushed. Like we got to go here and here and
you
here,
and
everybody. We started just like relaxing a little bit on that, and it just makes the trip so much better. So we had a great time. We got back yesterday, and I was just like exhausted today.
It's a lot of driving.
Today was a Monday, you know?
Yes, I have similar but different reasons for being exhausted. Yesterday, we celebrated my sister Alyssa's birthday, but her birthday's actually today.
Girl.
Happy birthday, Alyssa. Love you. 28. So great. But anyways, we drank some wine last night and stayed up pretty late. We did not get home till like 11:30.
Oh my gosh.
So mommy's tired.
Yes. I
laid Fielding down for a nap today, and I was like, I want to so badly be sleeping as well, but I didn't. I got up and worked like a big girl and watched Grey's Anatomy at the same time.
You know, it's a lot less fun, but it is the responsible thing to do.
And I feel better about it. I accomplished what I needed to, but I was like, I just want to take a nap.
That's how I felt today too. And what was I going to say about that? I had something to say along those lines. Oh, today was like the least busy day I've had for work so far this year.
Beautiful.
I know. It was really nice. Like Matt and I and the kids got to spend the morning together. I got some fall decorations put up.
So nice.
I just feel we have a babysitter and there are kids screaming in the background. So if you hear they are not getting murdered, they are playing.
We just put them in the shed so we could talk on our podcast for a few minutes.
Hour and a half. Y'all better survive.
Good luck.
But it was just a good day, and this like reminded me of how much I love working from home, and because I got the extra time with Matt and obviously with the kids because they're home for the week, and we got like just little stuff done around the house, laundry that normally I wouldn't get done during the day.
And how nice to have like a slow day going back in from being out of town.
Yes.
Because that to me is like the worst part of coming back in town on a Sunday is like you're not ready for the week at all. Like, but I mean, what else are you going to do? But still.
I will say though, I don't know how you feel. And I know sometimes I get like the Sunday scaries still. I think that's just natural, but I don't get them as much.
Oh, no.
They're not nearly as bad now because I'm like, okay, if I don't get to it on Sunday, worst case scenario, like I get to it on Monday and it's okay versus the pressure of needing to get everything done in 2 days. was I just think about, I'm like, how did I have time for everything? Because now, like, I still am doing the same things, but maybe I'm just not as stressed and as rushed.
Yeah, I feel like it just is so much less rushed. And like, I don't know, for me, I have so much like less anxiety knowing that I can wake up in the morning and like I'm not rushing out of the house.
Yes.
I'm not like feeling literally like slowing down to not even a stop at daycare and being like, get out, and like being late to school every day. Like, it's so, my mornings are like mine again. That's like the biggest thing to me. Even like, even the days where it's a little bit of rushing and I've got classes and whatever, it's still just not the same thing as like being in person. It's just such
well, and I feel like I finally gotten the hang of things, and it's taken me a little while, and that's fine.
Everyone I've talked to with online says it takes like 3 months. So honestly, you're ahead of the curve.
Oh, well, I feel great.
I feel weird because I started mid-year, and so like I was skewed on like normal life because everyone else had their routines, and I like started halfway through. It was just weird. Because I felt the same way at the beginning of this year. I was like, oh shit, like, because I was doing like course building and things that I didn't have to do because it was already done last year. So it was definitely a learning curve for me as well.
And now that you're into the routine of things, like now that I'm into the routine of things, I know I'm going to have busier days.
Yes.
But then I know like some of my days I might have a chance to like catch up on things. So it just feels good. It feels, I feel very happy. I feel very content.
Good.
Which I struggled with at the beginning because at the beginning I was like, did I make the right choice? Yes, because it was so hard. It was a big adjustment for me.
In all aspects. Getting a new job freaking sucks.
Man.
Getting a new job sucks in general. Yeah. Like, it's exciting a little bit, but it's mostly terrible because something about learning all the new things makes me so like, I have a hair in my nose. Like, existentially exhausted. Like, I feel like I'm going to die when I have to. It's like having someone explain a card game to you for like 3 weeks. And you're like, my brain can't absorb what we're trying to do.
And you're trying to catch up with everything. Totally. So, I mean, it's taken me some time, but here we are. And today I got to, like, I just had a great Monday.
I love that.
It sets me up, I feel like, for the week. Like, I feel mentally prepared now for the week. I have sitters coming for a couple of hours a day. Like, while I'm teaching my live classes, I just need the help with Tuck being younger. There's no way I could have him at home full time and teach. Like, I just couldn't do it. And so, gonna pay.
I'm doing the same thing.
Pay a couple sitters and call it a day. So,
yeah, love that. Live, laugh, love that.
What have you been reading, watching, listening?
I finished Kingdom of Ash.
You finished what?
Kingdom of Ash, the last book in Throne of Glass.
Oh, shoot!
I cried so much.
I saw you post about it, but I was like, wait a minute, I couldn't remember. I forgot that it was
there's
Kingdom
so many names.
Ash.
I mean, honestly, I get the names confused even still. But I finished it again. Sobbed. There's a certain part where you sob.
Oh, my God.
You'll see. It broke me emotionally. It was so beautiful. It's almost like by the time I get to the end, I just want to restart it because it's such a, like, amazing story. But I'm not going to do that. I started a new series. It's called the Shatter Me series. I, like, put them up here.
What genre?
It's kind of like a Hunger Games-y I shouldn't say Hunger Games.
I'm like, I love that.
Yes, I know. It's dystopian, so like that's the element of it. Younger, like young adult ish. And I don't know, I'm not that far into it. I'm probably like, I don't know, 50 to 75 pages into it.
Have you read it before?
No.
Okay.
No, I have
New
not.
series.
Yes, which is honestly crazy for me. But a lot of the other stuff I have is like more romance things. I'm saying that and I'm looking at my bookshelf and I'm like, no, it's not. My bookshelf's literally all like fantasy. Like, what are you talking about?
I mean,
it's a good mix, but so I saw this on TikTok. Girl was talking about like books she recommends and like her favorite male characters, like romantic interest, and she ranked this male lead higher than like my favorite one of all time. Like my favorite one from A Court of Thorns and Roses series was 2, and this one in this series is 1.
Okay.
So I'm interested to see. It's okay so far, but I never like the beginning of books. Like it takes me a while to, honestly, it kind of takes me a whole book to get into the book.
Like to get into the series?
Yes. Like the first book to me is always laying the groundwork, and it's, to me, always the worst book. Like by the time I get to the end, I'm like, well, that was stupid. Like I hated that one.
Yeah.
It's like I want to know them.
I felt opposite though with the way that I'm reading Throne of Glass because I'm reading I read the prequel first. So that like sucked me in. Which one am I on
Air
now?
of Fire. That one's really slow.
So
in the beginning.
I started and then I haven't picked it back up. And it's honestly just because I've been busy.
Yeah.
Like last week was stupid crazy. So I'm going to make it a point to read this week because I am into the series. Maybe sometimes I do. I will say I do that with books. Like I'll read, and then kind of burn out for a minute.
Yeah.
Recap.
I do the same thing. Reset. And Sarah J. Maas, I will say, like, the biggest thing with her is that, like, it's going to be a slow burn for most of the book, and the last 100 pages are just, like, chaos, like, always. So
that's how it was in the last one that I read.
Yeah. So, like, this book is super important for the story, but to me, people love it. It's kind of my least favorite one.
Yeah.
Because I think it's slow, but it's honestly where you're going to get a lot more of, like, the magic part, the different, like,
which I love that part, actually.
Yeah, like it's really good. It's going to be worth it in the end, but like this one's kind of like the boring one to me, and then it picks back up.
Okay.
And it's kind of more exciting. So yeah, I've been doing that. One thing about parenting that I don't think we're talking about enough is how much dumb shit you have to watch.
Oh. Yeah.
I am so tired of watching this stupid Sonic Prime show.
What is what?
It's called Sonic Prime.
Like
it's on
Sonic
Netflix.
the Hedgehog or something different?
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay.
Sonic the fast food restaurant. You just watch people make food. Just kidding. I would like that. No, it's like this B-rated, shitty graphics. Fielding freaking loves it. Like whenever it does on like the next episode thing on Netflix, he'll start screaming and grab the remote to hit the next episode within 5 seconds because he's like, ha, ha, like he's obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And it's not even like, it's like a bigger kid's show.
Yeah.
So I'm like, why do you like this so much?
Wonder what is sucking him into it.
I don't know, but I'm going to die. I'm going to need Netflix to take it off immediately.
Yeah.
He's been really into Sonic right now, and it's fine.
It's so random. Sonic the Hedgehog is so random to me.
So random. That was Connor. Thank you, Connor, for introducing him to that. Love that.
And now he's obsessed, and there's no going back.
Yeah. But so reading, watching, I haven't really been listening to anything, I feel like. I haven't really been in a music phase of my life.
Yeah.
Even I like, what am I doing with my time? I don't really know.
No, I know. Whenever we get to this segment, I'm always like, I ask you, and I'm excited to hear what you say. And then sometimes I'm excited to share, and then other times like, wait a minute, what did I do with all my time last week?
I know.
I mean, I know I was busy, like raising kids or whatever. But other than that,
I mean, I've been listening to. I always listen to the Toast a little bit, but I'm so behind on that too. And then like music, I'll have sometimes like a Spotify playlist with like random TTPD adjacent songs, but I listen to it so low while I'm grading, so I because I can't have it super loud because it'll distract me. So,
well, I have big plans this week. I plan to watch The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives that you were talking about. Please. It's been on my watch list, and I'm finally going to have a chance to have like TV by myself, so I'm going to watch that. And then my dad texted Lauren and I, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't quit watching the new season of Love Is Blind. You guys have to go watch it because I mean I watch it too. But what's funny is Matt is going to want me to wait for him to watch it because we're both addicted to it. So we'll be watching that. I don't know when. Maybe this weekend.
Have you heard about the show Nobody Wants Us? It's Kristen Bell and Adam Brody.
I forgot about that. Is it a movie or is it a show?
It's a show. Connor and I started like the first 10 minutes of it, and then Fielding woke up from his nap, and so we were like, well.
I've heard good things about it though.
Yeah, I've heard my parents said it was amazing, so I need to watch it. It's on my list.
Okay. Well,
but I'm just like so into Grey's Anatomy right now. I can't put it down,
Yeah, I get that.
I have things to do.
I'm going to put that on my list this week too, but also I just have like so many things that I randomly want to watch that like I feel like I need time. So other than that, I don't know.
And you're going to start reading again. Your journey. Where are you at in school this week? Like your actual grad school?
Yeah, I started a new class last week. That was like part of my stress was just because in between each class, so the program I'm doing, it's really cool because it's one class at a time, and I get a week break in between each class, and that is always like I look forward to it so much. And so I'm on week 2 this week, and because we were going to be traveling out of town, I like rushed to get all of my homework done, even though it was due on Sunday. Anyways,
but you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I didn't want to have to worry about it, so I'm glad I got it done. But man, I'm just ready. I'm ready to be done. I question it like almost every time I start a new class. I'm like, wait a minute, why did I sign up for this voluntarily?
But you're gonna be so freaking happy when it's done. Like seriously.
Well, and I think like no matter when I were to do it, especially with having kids now, I don't think there's a perfect time for it. No. And so I'm just gonna put my head down, get it done.
Yeah, and you're more than halfway there.
Yes.
Barely,
58%,
but more.
58%, because I texted you. I was like,
it's more than halfway. Not much, but it is more.
Hey, I'll take it. I will take it.
That's amazing. yeah, that's that. Well, our topic today, do you have anything else you wanted to say? Any other tangents we need to go on?
Yes. I think we need to update people on our sourdough. Were you afraid of what I was going to say? I saw the look on your face of like, what is she about to say?
Well, I was just like, what is there to update on? Like, I just shared my whole life. But yes, sourdough.
Well, I know you said you baked your first loaf.
I did.
So,
I baked 2 loaves so far.
Okay.
Second loaf was worse than the first one, which is pretty funny because I felt like I learned things on the first one. Mm-hmm. But alas, I will try again. It was fine. My starter's been in the fridge all weekend. I didn't feel like messing with it. It was just not the weekend for me.
Mine is not. I'm going to talk to you after this because mine is not bubbling very well. Like it's bubbling on the side, but not on the top. And so I think that it's broken. And so I ordered off a TikTok shop.
Is it Eve?
Yes, I ordered some Eve.
I've heard amazing things. Let me know how. Okay. Also, the fact that I knew.
No, you literally. Oh, is it Eve?
I like show everyone when Eve pops up on my starters, like on my TikTok ads. I'm like, look at this starter. It's crazy.
So I know I could have put Doughboy into the fridge whenever we left, but he's been so finicky. I was like, I'm just going to take him to Oklahoma. So I took him to Oklahoma and I had to feed him.
I thought you were going to say you just like killed him.
No, I took him.
Did you put him in a car seat?
He was in his little bag and I brought flour and water and I brought my spatula. But what's funny was I was looking for something when we were leaving my aunt's house and I texted her. I was like, hey, what did you do with that? I think it was a gift card. And she goes, oh, I put it in Doughboy's bag. So even she was like started to call him by his name.
Literally the new family pet.
Yes. I did make a loaf. I thought it tasted okay. It was pretty dense. My uncle, really my uncle Tony loved it. He was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so good."
Oh, good.
My uncle Daryl walked outside and Matt said he was kind of like choking on it a little, like he was like, "Man, that's a real dense bread," but he didn't let me see that. So I think it's just going to take practice, and it's okay. Yeah. It's teaching me
patience, and also people like on my sourdough Facebook pages have said that the more your starter matures, the better your bread is. So like our starters are still so new. Yeah. That's kind of why babies. I need to let her just live a little bit.
Yeah.
But I want to, and you made sourdough discard crackers that I have to try this week.
And they were delicious. I just bought some everything bagel seasoning to try on the crackers this time. And so, Matt was obsessed because he was, he put goat cheese and like a little bit of honey on like a cracker. And I mean,
Matthew, he's so bougie.
He is because he was like, can we make more of those crackers?
Oh my God. That's awesome. But it's such a good use because I feel so wasteful. That's why I put mine in the fridge. I'm like, I feel so wasteful throwing out like more than half of it most of the time. Like I just need to feed less, I guess. I don't know.
Anyways, that's our sourdough. You're growing freaking
I'm a farmer.
herbs.
I'm a farmer.
Which we touched base on it last week, but like they're actually growing.
Well, they is strong. One of them is thriving, and that's cilantro. Cilantro is really easy to grow, though. We grew that in Ohio, and like, I mean, seriously, we had like full on cilantro in like 4 weeks. Like, it's kind of crazy. So that has really taken over. My mint, little baby sprigs. My basil, nowhere to be seen. Now, I ask you, dear listener, what would I use the most? What does Emily, the Italian, want the most? Basil.
Literally.
Basil is what I live for.
You know what? I just thought of something.
Not even prickling up. What?
Your basil needs to grow because I'm getting into canning because now that we've started, I can't stop. Like, and this is what happens with us.
Wait, can we go in on a fancy canner together?
What do you like
a canner, like a canning apparatus?
I bought one. And I have a pressure cooker now that my grandma gave me. That way,
how much was the canning thing?
It was like $25. It was so cheap.
No. I almost went into full canning mode a couple years ago.
What did you find?
Oh, like a crazy canning thing that's like, because there's different levels of canning. There's outside of pressure cooking. There's also like canning where it's more shelf stable. And my school grandpa, I call my school grandpa, he only would allow me to call him my school uncle. He didn't want to claim a direct bloodline to me.
I thought you were going to say he didn't want to be claimed as old enough for a grandpa.
No. He was like, I'll give you a niece. Like, but he like grows a million tomatoes, and he and I had the same conference period. He's Mary Elizabeth Sub, and he was like telling me all about canning stuff, and he like expensive canners, like $400.
Oh my God.
But they everything is so shelf stable, and he was like bragging about it, like. Basically, I'm going to find his house if there's an apocalypse. Like,
yeah, because he's stocked.
I mean, he makes his own barbecue sauce. He makes his own salsa. He makes his own pickles. He had like
that's amazing.
No, like I'm obsessed with him and I love him.
Yeah,
I would die for him. Yeah. And Nathan, you'll never listen to this, but I love you.
Someone send him a clip.
Mary Elizabeth's like, Mary Elizabeth doesn't listen. She's like, I hate podcasts. Sorry, I can't. Kevin, listen.
Kevin does listen. Kevin,
send this to Nathan right now. Tell him I said so. He'll be like, Nathan has a flip phone that he wouldn't bring to school.
He'll have to email this to him. Email the
I don't even know if he would get an email. Like, we might just have to send him a videotape. But he got me so inspired, but then I went off the tangent. But what are you going to try to can? Jellies, jams?
I'm doing jellies at first because that's the most simple thing that I can do. And it's practical. My kids love peanut butter jelly. And I'm thinking, because we joke that we could be self-sustainable on bread. Well, then I'm going to have jelly. Like, what else do we need?
Peanuts. I think they grow in the ground. I feel like I've seen a meme, and now I'm wondering if I was trolled a little bit, because I feel like I've seen a meme of like peanuts, how they grow. It's just like on a vine on the ground.
I don't know.
Are there peanut trees?
I don't know. There would be peanut stems, like on the ground.
But most nuts come out of trees.
Yeah.
Walnut, pecans. Okay, wait. What we just caught was your overconfidence with... Like, Ty, are you listening? Because it's like...
I wasn't confident at all.
You said, no, peanuts have to grow on a vine on the ground.
And then I'm like, wait a minute. And you know what's funny is I have my phone right here I can Google on, but we refuse to because we would rather go back and forth. And this is what drives Matt and Connor crazy because they're like, you literally will argue over something.
But I like to speculate.
And like, it's not a real argument. Like we're arguing
it's just
like the same thing.
Imagine the possibilities.
And everyone's like,
expanding.
Shut the fuck up about peanuts.
It's a peanut bush.
No one cares.
I'm just saying we're going to grow our own peanuts.
I want to make, what I was getting at was I would love to make from your Italian roots. I don't know what my Hispanic heritage has anything to do with this.
I mean, Italians and Hispanics are basically same, but different. We love tomatoes.
Yes. I want to make tomato sauce.
Yes.
With your basil.
Let's do, I
need fresh.
Yeah, you might be waiting on that, but I hope you don't want to make it anytime soon.
Your basil's like,
I don't know if you saw the jar of dirt I have in my... It's not even a jar, a can.
1 year.
A can of
Maybe
dirt.
In a year when I have canning down.
It's supposed to be 6 to 8 weeks, I think.
Okay, we'll get a hold of your friend, Nathan, that you just said. Get some homemade tomatoes. I'll buy them off of him.
I don't know when
Not homemade, but homegrown tomatoes.
They're just Play-Doh tomatoes. I think here's the thing about growing things, though. There's a season.
Mm-hmm. And that's not now. A season at H-E-B and Kroger.
So his tomatoes are not ripe right now because there's time.
Okay, well, maybe in the spring.
I'm thinking it's looking like store-bought. And maybe on the basil, too. While you're there, go ahead and pick up some basil.
Dang it.
I mean, listen, it'd still be better to make it yourself.
No, completely, because it has so much sugar in it. And even if I put sugar in it, like, it's still better than...
It is, because you're not putting preservatives and gelatin. And
we are such...
GMOs.
We're such trap wives.
Not trap.
No, that's what Lauren said we are.
Do you know what trap wives are?
No.
Oh, Courtney.
Trap
wives are for trap houses where they sell drugs. That's why
cooler.
She was dissing us with Houston because she says we live in Houston, so we're trap wives.
I was like, man, a trap wife sounds cooler than a trad wife.
They are cooler than a trap wife. They're also illegal.
Well, we're not illegal. Never mind.
God.
We don't do anything illegal around here, y'all.
Never have, never will. Scouts honor.
All right.
Well, our topic, which we teased on Instagram a week ago, basically.
I hope you guys have been like waiting
on pins and needles. We're talking about fears, fear factor.
Yes.
Fears. And I asked on my Instagram, like, what's your biggest fear? And I was like, it can be about marriage. It can be about kids. It can be about literally anything in general. And the responses were so varied. And I think that's like so valid because a fear of one thing doesn't negate that it's like not a valid fear. You know what I mean? So
do you know what you've convinced my daughter that she's so fearful of that she's quote unquote allergic to?
What?
She said, and I are allergic to spiders.
Yes.
Because both of y'all are so scared of spiders. And I'm like, how did you convince her she's allergic?
I don't know. Honestly, that's kind of funny because I don't recall a conversation about it.
I thought you might have told her, like, don't, you don't want to get bit by one.
The thing is, maybe I did. I don't remember.
But she's so fearful of spiders.
I wonder if it's whenever I had that weird bug bite on my butt. Maybe. And I was showing y'all. Maybe because I think I showed her my butt cheek.
Yeah.
with my spider bite or a bug bite or something.
No, it was like a horrible bite. We talked about it on here.
Yeah, it was scary. But I don't think it actually was a spider bite. But anyways, that's hilarious. And I love that. And I support that wholeheartedly. Meanwhile, the boys would be picking the spider up and eating it. And that makes me want to die.
Exactly.
Yes, that is one of my biggest fears. Bugs really in general. And like, I know it's stupid. I know I am bigger.
Not stupid.
No, it is. I know I'm bigger than the bug. I know the bug can't really kill me or hurt me. I don't like them. I don't want them to crawl on me. Yeah. They have too many legs. I don't respect what they're about.
You don't need anything with the spider
sense. I don't like them.
Like, no, thank you.
Roaches too, though. No. Goodbye. I'm
Disgusting.
out. I have to move out.
What I would consider my practical fear would be heights. 1000%. I've never been able to do heights. I watch someone climb on a ladder and my heart starts racing. I climb on a ladder, my legs shake. I remember trying to put up Christmas lights on our house growing up, and so I'm on top of the house and I'm trying to get down off the ladder and I start crying, and my grandpa was like, "Just get off the ladder!" Like he didn't understand because I mean,
how old were you? 18.
Yeah, no, literally. This was last year. But like he is, literally at 80, he was climbing on top of like a barrel to reach something. So he didn't understand, and I'm like, I'm so scared of heights. Like I can't. And my dad is super scared of heights as well. So I think so. Yeah,
that was so itchy.
Not as bad as Matt Graham, her husband.
He's scared of heights.
Yes. So they went to Angel's Landing, and he was Sorry, Matt Graham. He was deathly scared of heights. And isn't that funny? Because I thought that it wouldn't bother him at all.
Literally Tarzan. How can he swing through the vines if he's scared of heights? I'm confused. I will say, like, growing up, I wasn't scared of heights, and I was a cheerleader. Not to brag.
Yeah. Settle brag.
And I was a flyer. Brag. And so I was always getting like thrown up high, and I never thought anything of it. Like that stuff didn't scare me. And I did like one man stunning, so I'd have like one person underneath me.
Even with your concussions, it didn't scare you.
That's probably why it didn't scare me. Was because the concussions dulled that sense. All the CTE. But now that I'm getting older, Connor and I both have like vertigo.
Yes.
I start feeling like I'm falling backwards. I'll be standing still, but if I think about going up high, I feel like I'm falling. Like, and I can't even explain it in that way. It's called being old and getting old.
Unfortunately.
And I understand why people have fear of heights now. Like I can't, my brain doesn't do that anymore. I don't know if I've got an inner ear fluid situation going on. Like, what's going on?
What WebMD said?
Grey's Anatomy, please. Put some respect on my name.
Never mind.
That's what Seattle Grace told me. Not really. I probably have a brain tumor, but.
Okay.
No, speaking of fears, had a terrible dream last night. I don't even know if I want to say it out loud or speak it into existence, but I will because I don't want you to be curious. But I had a dream that Fielding had leukemia.
Oh,
and then I woke up and I was awake for an hour, went back to sleep, back in the dream.
No, it didn't
and had to call everybody in my dream. I'm like telling everybody. It was terrible. Connor said I was also talking in my sleep so bad last night. And he said I kept going. Likely story.
Oh my God, really?
He's like, you would not shut up. He's like, you're yelling. Likely story. I'm like, I don't know what that was about.
That's hilarious.
It's alarming. And then I thought Connor was dead because clearly I had a lot of anxiety last night because he was being so quiet. He was sleeping like a little angel. And I thought, surely he must be dead if he's not snoring.
Is it because of his nose thing?
Yes.
Okay.
But he finally, I don't know what he did differently to it, but I had to check his breathing. Because I was like, he's being so quiet.
And then he's a newborn all of a sudden.
And then he started snoring and I was like, there he is. He's good. He's good.
He's still alive.
But I was worried. There was a carbon monoxide leak and I was, immune.
Some major intrusive thoughts.
It's fine.
It's okay.
We're good.
We're all okay. Addie, so she gave me some mom trauma, but this is along the lines of fears. Because she had a horrible dream the night before last, and she woke up in the middle of the night, and she's like, Mom, I dreamed that you died. She's bawling. Well, then, like, all throughout the day, she just randomly keeps bringing it up, and I'm like, baby, it's okay. Like, I'm going to live a long time. Like, I'm going to be really old. Oh, what's going to happen whenever you're old? And I was like, well, by then, like, you'll have your own, I'm just like I'm explaining it too much. By then you'll have your own.
What else are you supposed to do? And she won't let it go.
No.
So
by then you'll have your own family and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to live with you. Just distraught. Well, so she like couldn't let it go. We even brought it up again today. Like this dream was horrible for her.
Poor baby.
Dreaming that I died. Well, then we're watching, she wanted to watch The Good Dinosaur. The
Terrible.
dad dies
Terrible.
in it. Disney, I have a bone to pick with you. This is ridiculous. I can't even. What?
Same. I thought you were going to go, Disney, I have a boner. That's just what it sounded like. Sorry.
I have a bone to pick with you.
I'm sorry, I was so immature.
No, probably wouldn't come out of my mouth.
No, I was like, why? Now I understand. Okay.
Because like every other Disney movie is about death and the parents dying.
Yes.
And you're traumatizing my kid. Am I going to ban her from Disney movies? No.
Because I need her to sit down and be quiet.
Yeah, like I'm not going to ban her from a movie from Disney, but like get your shit together because you're traumatizing my kid. So
it's valid.
That is her biggest fear is losing me.
I played a movie for her. Oh, Onward. Remember we talked about that because that's whenever all these conversations about death came up. And I'm like, wait, this is so morbid. This whole movie is about a dead dad.
Yep.
That they bring back for a day and it's only his legs.
And she catches on to all of that. Yes. And so
she can't be like Fielding and just salute. That's the only thing he took away from that movie was saluting. Can't win them all. What would you say your biggest fear is? Like, what's your
a real fear?
I guess, yeah. You said
heights.
Not
real. I don't want to.
No. I know what you mean. I'm saying, I guess like real fear, but I mean,
like my life fear.
Outside of like your kids and husband dying, because it's like, don't you feel like everyone's afraid of that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I am afraid of that to the extent, like with my kids, of like something horrible. Like I turn my back and the rolling the shopping cart rolls off and they get hit by a car.
Yes.
Fear to the extent of very intrusive thoughts.
Same.
That's called probably anxiety.
Literally same.
I'm dealing with that, but it's not dealing with it fast enough because I still have those.
The thing that would deal with it fast enough is a lobotomy, and I am campaigning hard for one of those.
Sign me up, please.
Please. I am so exhausted. My brain is running in circles. It is like a hamster on a freaking wheel of bad things that can happen.
I mean, I guess like I haven't really thought outside of just something happening to the kids, and it's the thought that I've gotten them past, a year old when like that's the most delicate time and there's still so many things that are that can happen. I've been listening to that Murder in America podcast that I talked to you about. I looked it up on Reddit because Reddit is my guilty pleasure, and turns out some people don't like it because it's a little...
Everyone is weird and
I know.
Doesn't like something. But
it's a little gruesome. It is. Oh. Like it gives a lot of detail in it. Like some of their stories, like I'm going to have to like... It's pulling me into my intrusive thoughts. Like I'm going to have to back off of the podcast.
Very fair.
But it just brings up so many things. Like I listened to the Natalie Holloway story. She's on, everyone knows the story, but she's on spring break. And
in Aruba, right?
In Aruba, senior trip, and she's killed. So it's like things like that where it's like you get through your entire life and you think you've kept your kids safe, and like there's just too many possibilities. Yes. And I think like deep down, like that is truly my biggest fear because I say this all the time and I mean it. Like if like say someone like comes up to me in a parking lot and they were like trying to take my kids away, like you would literally have to rip my arms off before that would ever happen. Yep. Like. Just the thought of them being away from me, like I can't fathom it. It makes me sick. And
I feel the same way. And one thing that has surprised me about being a mom, because I think it almost sounds selfish, but I am so afraid of dying, something happening to me, because I'm so afraid of how upset Fielding would be.
Yeah. And what happens to them after?
Like,
where do they go? What do they do?
If something happened to me, like he wouldn't understand, and he probably wouldn't remember me all the way right now, and that like makes me sick.
Yep.
Not in like a selfish way, in a like what would his life be like, and like he loves me, we're so attached. If all of a sudden that was gone, like that makes me want to like throw up when I think about that. I'm like, I have to survive so that he has a happy good life. Like it's so terrible.
I know. Well, and when Addie's asking me these questions of like, Mom, and it's confusing for her because she knows I don't have my mom, and so I've had to start connecting her to like, well, like your Mimi has Granny, like.
Well, I know she talked to me about me that like. To me about that as well. Like, oh, Coco's your mom? I'm like, yeah, like, my mom's still alive. It's all good.
Well, because she thinks that, like,
no one has a mom when they grow up.
She's not going to have a mom. And, like, that part is sickening. And, like, I've talked to Matt, like, we have got to get our stuff in order of, like, even down to, like, just like paying for it sounds so morbid, you guys, but even down to like paying for like where we want to be buried, like I want that taken care of because like God forbid if something were to happen,
you don't want it to be a thing that they have to worry about.
I want like my kids set and as much as possible because like life is short and you just never know. But yeah, that's a
Are you gonna
fair.
Get cremated?
No,
I'm getting cremated.
No, I want to be buried in the ground
with all the bugs. I'm out. Scatter my ashes.
Where do you want to be scattered at, though?
Oh, I don't.
Let this be your last will and testament.
I don't give a shit. I really like that stuff. I have not. I don't care.
Some people don't. Yeah. It's really important
me.
to me. And Matt was like, I don't care. Wherever you want to be buried, I'll be buried. Yeah. So I was like, okay. But then I know people who are like, they just want to be cremated and like kind of have it done. So I don't totally get that.
Coffins are expensive.
They are. They
insanely expensive. Tombstones, insanely expensive.
Yeah. I mean, cremation is like the cheapest way to go.
Throw me in a jar.
Throw me in a jar of my sourdough. I was going to like say it, and then I was like, that's really demented.
The bacteria in the sourdough is my body. And actually, that's where I want to be buried. In everyone's stomachs. Or you're gonna make a sourdough loaf out of me, and then everyone has to eat it.
What if it just like the bread, like it comes out and it just like falls apart? Or it's the most like robust, like delicious bread you've ever tasted.
Or it's like rotten. You're like, what is this? Oh, it's Emily. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. Duh. I was going to read some
please.
Some people wrote in. One that you sent me really made me laugh. Because they said their biggest fear is that they really don't like the Brazilian steakhouses because people are walking by knives by their ears. Like, it's so specific. Like, not by your head, not by your neck or your head, like your ears.
Well, and I will say that's hilarious because I do love a Brazilian steakhouse. But whenever I let myself think about these things, I'm like, I am standing in a room with a bunch of strangers who have huge carving knives.
They could just get an intrusive thought real quick.
No, like, let it rip. And by rip, I mean my head decapitated. So valid. So valid.
Your brother, he's weird. He said goals. Not sure what
he said. Ghouls.
What is a ghoul? Goal is the same. That's what I'm trying to say. A goal.
You're Oklahoma. Sometimes you and Matt, like, y'all can't make the same sounds as I can make.
No, it's a problem.
No, it's like, but I don't realize the dialect is different until you do things like that. And I'm like, just say the word.
A goal.
Ghoul.
I do it with lawyer too. Lawyer.
Yes. If anyone's ever noticed, Sawyer is also a name that you say Sawyer.
Oh yeah. I really tried hard to correct that one. Real
it's
hard.
not bad. It's just funny. A ghoul is like a ghost.
Yeah, a goal. Okay. The look on your face.
Okay, yeah.
And these are the things that we like to just argue with back and forth.
I'm going to send you to speech therapy with Fielding. We're going to go 2 for 1.
Perfect. Someone said they're really scared of frogs, which, those things are gross. So
I've had to be less scared of frogs because Fielding and I kept catching these little frogs in the pool.
Yeah.
And I had to touch one.
Yeah.
And I don't usually, but being a boy mom, sometimes, the call of the wild is there.
Yeah.
Someone sent one that is so valid to me about the dogs.
Oh, bit off by a dog.
You like getting there. Yeah, sorry, it's like all fragmented. Getting like your kids getting their faces bitten off by a dog. That is one of my biggest fears. Yeah. And that recently became like a hyperfixation of mine because I would see people. There's this one girl that's like a model and a model longboarder, whatever. And she got her whole upper lip area.
Yes, I've seen
bitten off and like years of reconstructive surgery. Thousands of dollars, and she'll never look the same. Yeah. But it was like just a family dog just literally jumped up and bit her freaking face off. And it's like, that shit scares me so bad. And I mean, y'all have maybe seen Harper make her appearance in here. She's like a freaking bear, and she is like so good with Fielding, always been fine, never had an issue. But like, you just don't know.
It's just the thought that if she decided all of a sudden to turn, what could she do?
Connor, she could kill him. She could kill me. I mean, truly, like, and one thing that has freaked me out too is like you knew that girl back in Oklahoma that got killed by dogs. Her neighbor's dogs.
Yeah, I went to school with her, and she was just she was going to house sit these dogs, and like she was just going over to check on them and feed them, and they attacked her. There was like 3 or 4 in a pack, and they killed her.
And that's crazy,
it's horrible. And those things happen more often than not.
I know.
Matt's brother had his ear almost ripped off by one of their dogs. And like it was a family dog, like a hunting dog, but still like just a family pet. And there's just too many things.
I know.
It's really scary because I mean, I grew up with dogs like my entire life. And you know, they're just part of your family, but it's a valid fear that they could turn.
Yeah. I mean, you're making a good case for me to I Am Legend Harper after this.
Shut up.
Just kidding, PETA. Just kidding.
And Harper really is like just so gentle, but
she's
just
good, but she's huge.
It's just the thought in the back of your head because of her size and because like Fielding, he's always at her level.
Yes, and now he's decided to bully her. He started beating her up.
Oh no!
He like went up to her and just like stepped on her foot the other day. I'm embarrassed to admit that Jeffrey Dahmer, like, but then he was playing with my sister's dog last night.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, he
feels threatened by Harper, though.
I guess my mom and Troy were like, you guys should really consider getting a dog. I was like, LOL, guys. But I'm like, Fielding, you're playing with this dog, like, chasing this dog, having so much fun. Like, Harper, you're like, no.
Well, that's more of a sibling. So it's like a sibling rivalry.
True. That's so
It's different. It's different.
God, she's so annoying. Okay, anyways.
Your mom said, which this one is valid, and Matt's mom is actually scared of this too. Falling off of a highway bridge in her car. The thought of that, like these are all like Final Destination fears, like the Brazilian steakhouse.
Oh, literally.
Honestly, tanning beds. Like in high school, whenever I would do that, I could never fall asleep. I was scared because of Final Destination.
The craziest naps in tanning beds, but I definitely saw that Final Destination and it scared me. Not enough to stop going.
It scared the crap out of me where I couldn't like relax the whole time. I'm just like stiff the whole time in the tanning bed.
You? No way. Meanwhile, I've got a towel over my face, just tanning for 20 minutes on a level
talking
3.
in your sleep.
No, oh my God. I never even thought about that. I was like screaming. The ceiling's all open, so everyone's just hearing me like, great. I'm obsessed.
Everyone else pretty much had the same thing, like losing their husband, losing their kids. I think just because it's such a valid fear that it's just thinking about what would your life look like.
Yes.
You just can't even imagine it. It makes me sick to think about it.
And it's just like we all have that fear collectively, right? So how do we determine what is normal anxiety about these things? And like what, you know what I mean? Like that's what's hard. It's like I haven't even gotten there in therapy, but like, what is a normal amount of fear that's okay where you can like live, and an amount of fear where you are like it's interfering with your life?
I was about to say, I'm not a therapist, but I feel like when it becomes debilitating, that is whenever it's like, okay, like you really need to look at like what are some strategies for you that's going to help. But it's funny because I used to think like my intrusive thoughts about everything, like I'd get in the car or I'd like just do anything, and there was an intrusive thought, and I used to think that was normal, and turns out like it's not. I think it's normalized to a certain extent, but like my intrusive thoughts were like persistent, like all the time, and now it's like
that's how I feel most of the time.
It's not a great place to be.
It's not. What do I do?
I was always thinking through scenarios of like, oh, if this happens, then this.
Yes.
I was always in panic mode.
Yeah.
I could never relax, and now if I let myself think about it, I definitely still have intrusive thoughts.
Yeah.
But they are more manageable to me versus whenever
what do you feel like the difference
every
is?
scenario, my Zoloft, whenever I got on that helped me a lot.
Zoloft is what you're saying. Shit.
That is, it got me out of my loop.
That's what I always say.
I was on a loop.
Yes, I was always in like a panic loop. Now I definitely have more like scared thoughts than I've probably ever had. I don't know. I've always had my whole life.
Came more
with having a baby.
Yeah.
Because I am like so fearful that his life isn't going to be good. Like that's really where it stems from, is like him having a traumatic event or like something happening to either Connor or Philly and me having to continue living.
No. Well, and I think I wouldn't think about it as much, but Instagram and TikTok, those things come up for me. And I think about what would my life be like if I didn't have access to these stories, because I don't think that I would have that same level. I think I would still have fear. I think it's very natural.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have the scenarios in my head because I hear about these scenarios and I'm listening to this poor person talk, and it's like this woman was on TikTok and she's like, you guys, like, you hate me for this. I hate myself. She backed over her kid and killed him. And she's like, this is something I knew someone that did that in high school. I will never forgive myself for this. You hate me. Guess what? I hate myself 100 times more.
That happens a lot.
Happens
a lot.
Literally, like, ugh.
I saw one the other day on TikTok. Now we're just
saying
trauma
horrible stories. Sorry, guys.
A woman. Her husband was in the attic and he fell through the ceiling from a 2-second story and killed him.
What? From the attic? Oh my God.
Yeah, because, like, I mean, 2 stories, it's 20 feet.
Oh,
and if you just don't land right, like, freaking killed him.
It's just, you just
and
never
so
know.
Matt needs to be careful. And because you got a 2nd-story attic.
And the fact that I shouldn't make him put up my chandelier that he had to rent a
scaffolding. No. He had scaffolding. That's fine.
He had scaffolding. It was a little sketchy from Home Depot.
It was a little sketchy.
We could have definitely sued Home Depot if something would have happened.
But he wasn't like inside the attic. You know how there's like the soft spot where
and he knows
where the ceiling is.
And you just have to be careful and not to like put blame on the person that happened to. But like in an attic, like you do have to know like where to step and where to not, which I didn't know until Matt told me. And he's like, no, you have to on the beams. You have to stay on the beams. Yeah. Like.
I'm just imagining
I'm like a little mouse. Like I'm
literally imagining you up there with your feet hanging out of the ceiling, like,
or I'm crawling on all fours because I'm scared of heights and I know that I'm in the attic, and so I'm just like, off of a scary movie.
Help me! Oh my God, I can't. Well,
yeah. So fears are,
we all got them. We all got it.
So where are you going?
There was supposed to be a tagline, but
I'm not
blacked out for a second
today where I could finish a tagline.
Nope.
So
I mean, I'm drinking cherry Coke at
I'm drinking unsweet tea, and that caffeine is not hit. It's not doing the.
I almost made coffee at 3, and I was like, I will not sleep tonight if I do this because I am old. So I didn't, but I'm struggling, and I'm just really excited. Courtney is making me dinner.
Yes, I'm making you a little casserole from my work grandma Carol. It is her famous recipe that she like made at school. She like makes it for those like dump and go recipes where like you can go like someone has a baby, you take that. Like it's just a good recipe, and that's what I needed because I need easy this week. So I was like, hey,
chicken, broccoli, rice, cheese, cream of mushroom,
cream of chicken, a little bit of chicken broth. If you didn't say rice already, and you just mix it all up,
delish,
and you bake it.
Except Courtney, Courtney's you're not as much of a casserole maker though. Like I thrive on casseroles, but they're terrible for you. Which is probably why you don't make them very often. But Courtney put the cheese on there and then like went to put it in the oven. I was like, hey, the cheese is going to burn. And she's like, sure. So I
said, well, Carol's instructions didn't tell me to put foil on it. But Carol didn't realize I needed like very explicit instructions on every step of a casserole.
The salt inside of the casserole.
No, she didn't put that either. And I was like, I'm just going to assume we need salt and pepper.
I'm just going to assume in your Dr. Evil hands. I'm just going to go ahead and assume we have to season this chicken, rice, and vegetables. Yes, Courtney.
Well, in my head, I'm like, well, cream of chicken is very high in sodium. So
this is where you and I'm getting less and less excited about dinner the more we talk.
I seasoned it, okay? No, Matt gets so mad. He's like, please start seasoning your chicken. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I thought that if I threw
that kind of stuff is not important to you, though. Like, that's not, like, I know you like food, but like, and like, you enjoy it if we go eat somewhere or whatever, but like, food is not to you like what it is to Matt and I. Same with Connor. Like, Matt and I, food is like what we live for.
Yes.
And like, I want this bomb, like, seasoning and wine reduction, whatever. And you're like, chicken with chicken.
Chicken and rice.
Chicken and rice. I cook the chicken on olive oil. And so that's it. All done.
One time I tried to boil chicken and like I tried to put in like this casserole thing or something. The look on your face. And Matt was like, please. And he was nice about it. But he's like, please never do this again. Because I don't know if I seasoned the boiled chicken either. So
please never do this again. Honestly, that's not bad. Sometimes I will
There's
pressure
certain
cooked
things
chicken,
you can boil
to shred
chicken
it
for.
But yeah,
Not for what I was trying to use it for. Like I've had boiled chicken, like chicken salad, because it can be plain.
Or like and chicken
it.
spaghetti.
Yes,
they boil the chicken.
Not
and they make
for
it.
what I was trying to do.
I would love to know what you were trying to do. You probably didn't even put it in anything. You just were like, here you go, boiled chicken and broccoli. With no butter.
I don't know why anyone won't eat my dinner.
No, it's not because it's bad. It's just like I'm really trying not to talk shit on your cooking.
No, you're fine.
Because you do cook well, but you are not like that kind of stuff is not.
I cook to nourish me.
Yes,
That's what I cook for.
Yes, you cook more as like a need, and I cook more of a want, and I don't. That's why I enjoy your meals so much more.
Well,
and that's why I'm just gonna keep gaining weight because I'm like heavy cream. Let's do it.
And I'm like, can I sub almond milk for heavy cream? I was going to do that recipe you sent me, the soup. Oh. I was going to sub almond milk instead of.
Don't you think that would make it sweet?
Well, no. I buy the unsweetened one.
But still, I feel like almond milk's kind of got a sweet flavor to it.
Yeah, I don't know. But then I'm like, should I just live it up and just like put the heavy cream in? Like, just do it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It's not kind of crazy. Like, you're not going to be drinking the heavy cream out of a carton. It's like 1 cup for a whole vat of soup.
I get so wild when I cook.
I know. I'm like, I don't even measure my heavy cream. I'm just like, do it till it looks right. I don't measure anything. I'm like, I cook something once and I'm like,
because you can do it. Because you can do that. I don't have that expertise. And so,
Well, but I also am like smelling and tasting everything like while I'm doing it. But I've always told Ratatouille. I literally am Remy the Rat.
I mean, goals. Like, if I could.
Actually, if Fielding's the rat in my chef's hat pulling my hair. Yeah. Goodbye. No, I'm still excited to eat. I've been on such a cooking slump, even with my sourdough situation. Mm-hmm. I really got to start cooking more.
Yeah. I'd like to.
I'm tired of eating out.
I'm gonna do another goal for another time, but
well, and I have to start eating better.
It's hard. I
have to. I'm creeping up there.
On this topic. I know we were supposed to wrap up, but I was trying to be good today, and I got like a chicken salad from Chick-fil-A, but I got grilled chicken instead of their regular chicken, and then instead of ranch and buffalo, I did balsamic vinaigrette. And it was just
on the Cobb salad.
Yeah,
yucky.
No, I know it didn't hit the spot.
Yucky. Balsamic on there.
Like you said, like I ate to nourish my body. I didn't really enjoy it, and I was like, man, I really like those nuggets. Like they're regular nuggets on my Cobb salad.
It doesn't change it.
No, it doesn't. It truly does not. I was just like trying something different. I'm like, we eat Chick-fil-A all the time. Let me try it.
I don't like their grilled nuggets at all. But I like their in the market salad. If you've never had the market salad from Chick-fil-A, freaking dank, zesty apple cider vinegar dressing, delicious.
I almost tried that one.
The best. But they have like a shredded fillet of chicken in there, and it's like shredded really thin.
So they did do that one today. Instead of the nuggets.
Well,
I mean, it's just not as good as fried chicken. Like,
what is?
And
what is? Give me the peanut oil. Give me peanut oil or give me death. Sorry, Grace. Grace is super allergic to it. We're like, Chick-fil-A is so good. Anyone that can't have it, your life sucks. Grace is like, cool.
I know. Poor Grace, who's severely allergic to like anything peanut related.
Speaking of that, Grace, will you let me do an EpiPen on you?
Oh God,
that's like one of my goals in life.
She's like, yeah, maybe if they weren't $150 a piece because of our healthcare system.
I had a student one time that had an EpiPen, and I was making pancakes for the class. They were seniors, and then she was like, wait. Are there any ground nuts in the batter? I'm like, bitch, I don't know. Like, what the fuck is wrong? And so then she had like got her fake EpiPen out to show me how to do it, and it was so fun.
Did you end up poisoning her?
No, she was fine.
Okay, perfect.
But you got to do
the practice
EpiPen,
one?
which isn't a pen at all. It's like it looks like a harmonica.
I mean, I think you were born for an EMT job. Like, if you ever quit teaching.
Okay, first of all, let's set our sights.
Would you be a doctor?
Brain surgeon.
Okay.
I'm Derek Shepard. Please.
Sorry, I don't know
an EMT.
Why.
Okay. Okay.
You're like, I need 14 years of school. I'm doing it right now.
I'm going to be the general. No, I was like talking to my sisters last night. Both of them are labor and delivery nurses. And I'm like, fuck it. I'm going back to school. And they're like, nope. No. And I'm like, it's so fun being in there. They're like, you could be a doula. I'm like, oh, I want to be a doula. I want to be a gynecologist.
I want someone to call me doctor. That's what it's about.
You're so right. I will get a PhD someday.
Yes. Just
solely so that no one will be allowed to call me Emily anymore. Unless it's Dr. Emily.
Are you going to, like, all your email signatures, no matter to what? Yes. Like, you're replying to anything.
I worked with a lady like that.
Dr. Olympia.
And if you work at Atascocita High School, you know exactly who I'm talking about.
Oh, shit. Not the call out.
Laying it down. And, like, there'd be a spreadsheet of homecoming assignments where you are your station, and like everyone's names, like E. Lamphere, K. Henson, whatever, and then it'd be Dr. So and so, and I'm like,
come on,
you need doctor on this
but
sheet.
They're like, listen, I have $250,000 in debt. Like, I'm going to use doctor every time.
You make $2,000 more than me a year. Like, what?
They wouldn't.
We're still about teachers.
Regular name. They had to put doctor.
Yes, and she was a teacher too.
Oh god.
So I'm like, girl,
let's not.
Girl, calm down. And also, here's my favorite thing: a doctorate in education is called an Ed.D. And so I call it an erectile dysfunction.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Ed.D. is such a silly name. Why wouldn't we just call it a PhD?
Because teachers just get the short end of the stick. Like, it's always going to be short end of the stick.
You're going to be a med. You're going to put MED in your signature line, though, aren't you?
I don't know.
Yes, you should.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you should.
Can everyone call me doctor after I get my master's?
No. Master's in Oh, I see people in their signature lines putting BS, like Bachelor's of Science, and I'm like,
no. We don't need to do that.
Calm down. We know we all have degrees here. We're all teachers.
Yeah, like,
we all have chosen to live this sad life.
Here's the big question: when I graduate, because it's all virtual, but it's up in Beaumont. Like, do I walk across the stage?
Down in Beaumont.
Oh, I thought Beaumont was north of us. Oh, shit.
Southeast.
You just pointed.
Because I know that's how your brain works.
I thought it was up by Conroe.
I remember my question from the beginning. Okay, so I saw this on TikTok. It's so interesting. How do you see the calendar for the year? Like, in your head, what if you think of like the months of the year, what does that look like to you?
Only month by month. I'm a day by day kind of girl.
But like, you can't picture, like, if someone said like a year-long calendar, what does that look like in your brain?
I mean, like a printed year-long calendar? Like, okay.
Like an abstract thought.
This is what I'm thinking of. My school calendar, my school year calendar. That's what I picture. But like, if you say like calendar,
so you're saying
general,
like boxes.
Oh yes,
like
for
an
sure.
MYC thing. Okay,
like an Excel spreadsheet.
See, I don't. Mine's a circle.
What?
I see it in a circle. We have to ask the boys this too because it's so.
What does this mean about us?
Nothing. I don't know. I didn't go that far into it.
I want to know.
All these people were like in an office talking about it, and they were all drawing it out, and it was so.
I for
funny.
sure imagine squares.
No, I see like circles.
Oh, like
circles in a circle. Yeah, like a clock.
Okay.
12 months.
I need to Google this.
Are there 12 months?
Yes.
Oh my god!
365 days.
No, I think I legitimately had a crisis for a second. I forgot there were 12, and I got really scared.
I'm about to rush you to the hospital.
Please do. Not well.
No, that's interesting. I want to know why.
I know.
I just want to know, like, why my brain thinks the way it does, and why your brain.
We need to ask the boys, because I guarantee you, Connor sees it like you, and Matt would see it more like me.
Let's see. How do you guys see it? Yeah. I want to know. You should put that up as a poll, because that's interesting. Like, it's just a way to think of it. Like, I've never thought about it.
Yeah, I saw.
Like, I would have never thought you thought of
so
circles.
Interesting. I know. Well, someone was like drawing it out and doing all the like the initials, and then they like drop off June, and they're like J floats between summer, and I was like, I understand.
Well, I wonder if here's my analysis of this. Now that I've had a second to think about it, you are a more creative brain than I am.
Yeah.
And I feel like you think of
more abstractly than
you. And I'm very type A, like by the book. Like I've seen it as that format. Like that's how I'm going to think of it every time. So I think that's just like, I think that probably has to be
part of it. And then if that was the case, then I feel like Connor and I would be more similar. Because Connor and I are both more left brain in a lot of ways.
But I feel like he's mechanical. Very
that's so true.
Type A. I don't know. Let's ask. Let's just ask.
Let's find
instead
out.
Of like,
what do you want to argue about it?
Like talking about it for 10 minutes straight back and forth.
Addie's like, I don't know all the months. Like, building's like, don't.
Addie told me today it's Halloween, so like, don't ask her.
Speaking of arguing with people, I'm arguing with Addie. I was like, it's fall break, but it's not Halloween. She's like, it's fall break and Halloween, and I'm like, no. And I was like, why am I arguing with a 5-year-old?
No, you literally said it out loud. You're like, why am I arguing with you? But listen, I do it all the time.
She gets me.
It's because like her and I are the exact same person. She's just the littler version of me.
She's so convincing in her argument, and most kids would be like, okay. And she's like, no, you dumbass. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know. Try
convincing her that Dallas is not Dallas, Houston. It's just try convincing her it's just Dallas. But Matt the other day was like,
it's giving Courtney.
No, Matt was like, quit arguing with her. Like he just called me out. Like quit arguing.
Both go to timeout right now.
I was like, oh,
I'm realizing that we didn't center the table, and oopsies.
Oopsie. Never too late.
And on that note,
all right, y'all.
Let's go eat a casserole.
Another week, another dollar.
Day, another $1. I've made $3.99 as an Amazon influencer.
Hey.
I asked Connor if I quit my job, and he said no. Another day closer, though.
You know what's really great is when everyone back home is asking me, like, how's the podcast going? And they want you to say, like, oh, we're making so much money. And I'm like, it's so much fun.
In the hole.
So on that note, go check out who are our sponsors. I'm just kidding.
Club Sunscreen and Chalkboard Candle Co.
Chalkboard Candle Co. for sure. I would recommend that one because I'm going to be honest with you guys. We make a little bit of money off that one, the Chalkboard Candle Co. And then, we don't have anything official set up, but we have your mother-in-law.
Yes, Billy Jane's hats. I think it's just billyjanes.com, but she makes beautiful hats and patches custom. She can do them for bridal situations, parties.
Yeah, well, she does like hat bars too for parties, and you can go pick out your patches.
So cute.
Or you can just custom order. She has chains on them. You've seen us wear them. Yeah. So,
and then my mom makes lamps out of cigar boxes. I keep forgetting to mention it, but we went to her craft show this weekend, and they kind of killed it. Yeah,
oh my God, that's amazing.
And she makes these they're so unique and one of a kind really because they have like Edison bulbs in them, but they're cigar boxes, so they're like really cool designs.
Well, and something that's really in right now that I've noticed is a trend. It's like your house. It's called I forget the exact word, but like modern grandma. Yeah. So it's like like putting unique pieces, little spicing touches, up a space. Like that is perfect for that.
Retweet.
Yep.
And that's all she wrote, folks. I think
we're gonna go rescue our babysitter.
See what those. I know. God, I feel so bad for her.
She has 3 kids, and I was like, and on top of watching our 3 kids, can you pull my casserole out at 30 minutes? And like, if it's not done yet, just stick it back in.
Check the vegetables.
I was like, just make sure they're tender.
She's literally like 17. She's like, what the hell? Like, I'm not a housewife.
She's like, I've never even eaten a casserole in my life. Like, I'm not a grandma.
Hey, don't talk shit on casseroles. They're my favorite. Okay, right, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Cheers. Mwah.